Welcome back to Chow Time Pods. Your host, Ray. I got a video today from Amala. I actually have a lot of opinions on this one.
I'm in a 99% white town, white community, and it's quiet, it's clean, it's peaceful, ain't no interruptions, disturbances, or discrepancies.
This black woman moved to a majority white neighborhood, and now she says her life is better. Guess what? The internet doesn't like it. She's getting a ton of...
You know, this is like a part of a lot of the whole Section 8 stuff, right? When women wanted Section 8, the government was like, we're going to move you to another neighborhood to give you a different outcome. This is kind of that, right? When you move to a better neighborhood and to a better thing, your outcomes actually become better. Why? Because you see differently. When everybody's around you doing the exact same thing, that's all you kind of know. You don't know what's better out there, but when you go to a better neighborhood or to a different neighborhood and they have different outcomes in there and you see different things, it really opens up your mind. Like I said, I had the one gentleman that lives in Texas, that used to live in El Paso. They were in the Army. I believe he was 6'3". Was born and raised in a very black neighborhood. He didn't know any better. He joined the Army. They moved him to Texas in El Paso. And he was just like, wait, there's different people. There's Hispanic women and they act differently. And then the black women here act differently. And the people in my neighborhood here act differently than the people in my old neighborhood. Oh, there's different types of people. That's what he literally told me. He did not realize there were different types of people out there until he left his little community and neighborhood.
Of hate for saying this. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, you better. Yeah, you better.
Guys, before we get into today's video, please consider liking and subscribing. Today we're gonna have an uncomfortable conversation, okay? Because this black woman is going viral for having moved across the country to a predominantly white neighborhood, and she's saying, you know what? Living in a white neighborhood as a black woman is better than anywhere I've lived before. Let's talk about it. Now we're gonna get...
I mean, there's no racism, there's no nothing there. She's just speaking what her actual experience is. She's lived her best life here in a different neighborhood.
Get into her first video that sparked all this controversy and ended up going viral, and then we'll see where we go from there.
Now, y'all know I've been talking about leaving the East Coast, which I did, and now I'm over here on the West Coast. And I'm going to tell you what's crazy. There are hardly no black people over here. There's only 2 black people in my whole development, and I've only seen one black person, and that he works at Publix.
And I know it sounds and seems racist. I was like, oh, why is there no black people in your neighborhood? They don't move in, right? Because the neighborhood is too affluent. There's too many, the houses are too expensive. Rent is too expensive for a lot of other people to come in. So it just makes it so it's a barrier of entry. And it's not like a good thing or a bad thing. It's just saying there's a class barrier, right? Each neighborhood has its own class. Like, I won't be able to go live in Beverly Hills. That's probably one of the better neighborhoods, right? I can't afford that shit. I live in Buena Park. Buena Park has a ghetto side and has a non-ghetto side. I happen to live on the non-ghetto side because I can afford to live on the non-ghetto side. It's like making more money gives you access to places. Why not? Like, just like how making more money gives us access to women. Why not exercise that access and that right that you earned to go check out these neighborhoods, go live in a better neighborhood?
I'm in a 99% white town, white community, and it's quiet, it's clean, it's peaceful, ain't no interruptions, disturbances, or discrepancies. Why in the hell can't we be like that in the black neighborhood? It's a shame we have to move to the other side of the world just to get and be and live the way life was meant to be. And that's sad. And I've never lived around white people before, and I got to actually say it's very pleasurable.
It's been pleasurable.
And I've got to say, it is very pleasurable. Now, a lot of people are going to get upset about this because they're going to deem her to be racist. They're going to call her a race traitor.
You know what? I had a Cambodian gentleman, email me and says, why do you speak so badly about Cambodians? I wish you spoke us about in a better light. I speak great about Cambodians all the time. I'd say 95% of all donut shops in California are owned by Cambodians. We are one of the big entrepreneurs of California, but we are also the biggest gang in the United States. So we have great things and bad things. And with this topic, Long Beach, the biggest Cambodian neighborhood, was probably one of the worst neighborhoods out there. When I was growing up, that neighborhood was riddled with gangs. Every time I went there to go eat with my family and stuff, and this was when I was a child, gang members would come into the freaking restaurant, trash the restaurant while we were in there, and just expected protection money. I literally saw that in real life. That was the first time I experienced that outside of a movie, right? But now look at the neighborhood. The neighborhood really got gentrified. A lot of Cambodians moved out of Long Beach, and it's a little bit better, right? Sometimes the group of people that are there, they don't know better, so they just are just in this melting pot of keep on doing the same thing. And then when they move out, they go to a different state, they go to even a different county. Long Beach is its own little microcosm. When you go to just OC, which is the county next to it, it is so different.
For leaving her neighborhood and moving to a white one and actually being happier there. But is she right? That's the question. Was she leading a different life in a black neighborhood and one that is completely disappeared now that she's in a white neighborhood? Let's answer the question. First and foremost, let me say, not all black people are acting up.
No.
Not all black people are contributing to the black fatigue that many feel in our society, right?
And I 100% agree with her. I know plenty of people that don't belong in this demographic at all, right? But this demographic makes almost all black people look bad. And it's a sad reality. Again, if there was enough Cambodians out there just doing bad things and they're like, oh yeah, this Cambodian guy did that, that Cambodian person did that. Yeah, people are going to start thinking badly about Cambodians. It's just kind of how it is.
Right now, not all black people are the ones that are getting in brawls at the Carnival Cruise or beating up people at the Wendy's or starting fights at Waffle House. But there is a particular issue within the black community, if that's even what we want to call it, with these particular problems.
Oh yeah, I also had another comment. It's like, why do I focus on black women? And it's the most content that's on the internet. Like literally the most content that people would watch and that is just available on the internet happens to be black people content because they got recorded the most. They're on the internet the most. Maybe white people have a good amount too, but they also don't film themselves doing the same things that black people do, right? Same thing with Asians. I'm sure there's bad Asians too, but I don't have much footage of Asians doing all of these bad things. And then when I do, I feature them. I feature a lot of dumbass Asian women speaking dumbass things, and we call them out on it.
And I think that's what she's speaking to. And now that she's moved to a white neighborhood, she's looking around and going, I don't see any of that behavior taking place because it really wouldn't be tolerated. It's okay to acknowledge these things. It's okay to point out that there are problems, and it's okay to not want to live with those issues.
I grew up in the inner city. I went to an inner city high school. I didn't know it was inner city. I just thought that was how it was until my best friend was like, yeah, dude, we were in an inner city school. We had shootings. We had Luke, your coach died. And I was like, oh yeah. Yeah, when I was in high school, when I first started high school, I had a tennis coach. Probably one of the most influential people in my life. He got murdered. He got murdered because of gang violence. He was playing basketball. They got into a little scuffle. He drove off. They chased him and blasted him down. That was devastating to me. Like that was probably one of the biggest changes in my life was when my coach died. And I didn't really think anything of it. Like, oh yeah, I live in a bad neighborhood. No, I just thought that was normal. Again, If you never seen outside, or you don't really go, or you're just kind of immersed in your own community and neighborhood, you don't know better. You didn't know that there was different, right? And I didn't even grow up in that bad of a place. I grew up next to Compton. So it's not, I didn't grow up in Compton, but it was a city next to Compton, right? And then I also grew up with my family, because a lot of my aunts and uncles, they established themselves in OC, where my dad had to get a donut shop in like the LA area. And I saw the OC neighborhoods. They were just so much cleaner. They were so much nicer. The customers were nicer. Again, we had a donut shop in LA area close to Compton. My aunts had donut shops in OC area within like Fullerton, Anaheim, and all that stuff. The shops were just so different from each other. Just the customer base, how much on edge you had to be, how much just stress.
You're living in a neighborhood that is consistently loud, where people are getting in fights, where people are part of gangs, where you're going to the grocery store and everything is locked up.
And again, Long Beach was just like this. It was just Cambodian gangs. My family was so adamant of making sure I didn't stick in Long Beach, or, move to Long Beach, or, just stay away from Long Beach. Now Long Beach is so different. It's been gentrified drastically. All of like the Cambodian Row, which is like Anaheim Street in Long Beach, most of the Cambodian shops now have closed down.
There's no trust, and there's a lot of risk just being out in your community. It's okay to not want to be there anymore. You are not a race traitor for calling that out. And that, in fact, would imply that all Black people just accept this and act this way and are a part of this sort of behavior. It's okay to want more for yourself. It's okay to actually take more for yourself, which is what she's doing. But of course, she's getting hate.
And this translates to men too, right? You only see what you see around you. It's okay to want more, but you gotta go work for it and go earn more so you can have access to more.
For having moved to a white neighborhood, for having made this statement, but she's not letting it go. She's responding. Let's watch her next video.
My girl.
I'm gonna tell you something. It's a shame how many Black people are coming in my box talking to me, because I am actually happy that I am living in a neighborhood that is clean, beautiful, clear, quiet, and it just so happened to be around nothing but white people. And I got Black people trying to make me feel bad, because I wanted to raise my son in an environment where I don't want him thinking smoking, cracking.
Hey, shout outs to you, auntie. Yeah, she may be a single mother, but at least she's trying to give her son the best chance, right? I know it's a little counterintuitive because, she doesn't have a man, but she's trying better than most people that just wallow in their own misery.
Being a prostitute and then keeping your neighborhood dirty and riding around disturbing the peace and with your pants up under your ass and you walk around wearing bunnies and being a bunch of dirty foot whores and your badass kids is normal. Look at my son.
Auntie went in.
Look at my child. My child is living a life, and you think I'm wrong for that?
I know I don't. And you know what? I get how her tone is going to piss a lot of people off, but is she wrong? And in her doing
every single statement she made is not wrong.
Something about it, she's actually doing something for her family. She's breaking generational curses, as many call them, generational trauma, and actually placing her son in a better environment. And that's what she speaks to at the end of the video. I think so often when we're having conversations about race, Black people, there is this prevailing narrative that Black people are always set aside. They're always put down, and it's by the white man and the system and the oppressor, and they have generational trauma that they're carrying through just decades and decades and decades of this existence and this narrative, when in reality, you can take it upon yourself to break a lot of the generational curses that you are facing. And that's what this woman is doing, not only for herself, but for her son as well. And if that means looking around your community and going, you know what, this is not good enough, and moving to a white neighborhood, then so be it. And you know what? I bet none of these white people care that she is in the neighborhood.
I bet you they really don't, because she seems like a pleasant person to deal with, right? If she acclimates to the neighborhood, they have no issues with that.
I bet they are welcoming her as a neighbor. I bet they are welcoming her son. And clearly,
again, I moved to a little bit better neighborhood. I live in Buena Park, like the nicer side of Buena Park. It's the Korean town side. So there's like the Knott's side where there's Knott's Berry Farm and all that stuff. That's the ghetto side. Thank God I don't live there because it's pretty bad down there. And then I live on the northern side, which is like more of the Korean town, like where all the Korean shops and all that stuff is. It's a much better neighborhood. Like, especially from where I used to live. Where I used to live in Bellflower. I had my car broken into all the time. And I have a driveway. I park it in the driveway. And I still get shit stolen. You know, it's just different. Here, I can have my garage open and my door unlocked for like 2-3 days on end. Nothing got moved. Nothing got changed. You know, nobody tried to break in. Nobody took anything. You know, and I'm not saying I'm not blaming like a race or anything like that. I'm just saying the neighborhood itself sucked, right? I'm sure it wasn't just black people that were doing bad things. No, it was just all people of all races because the neighborhood sucks.
Clearly, they are making her feel like she made the right decision. Alongside the prevailing narrative that black people are consistently oppressed by the system and the white man is that every single white person is evil, that you shouldn't be around them, that they're constantly judging you, that they're constantly trying to hold you down. But look.
Everybody is constantly judging you. Again, I always say it. It's just human nature.
Look, she's a testament to the opposite. I actually came across a video the other day of a black woman saying she would rather be in a neighborhood of Crips and Bloods than be around white people. And let me pull up the receipts.
I 100% feel more comfortable being around a group of Crips and Bloods and whoever the hell else.
I love my people. I love Cambodians. I would not want to hang out with the Asian boys. I wouldn't want to be with them. I'm serious. No, I don't want to die. I don't want to get shot at.
Than I would around a group of white people.
All right. Let me get this straight. You would rather be around a group of rival gangs of black people, probably experiencing black...
Because white people are the boogeyman. Like, what's up with this?
Black crime, drug trafficking, prostitution, all of these...
Right, the worst offenders in black neighborhoods aren't white people. Why are they putting all of this, like, demonness into white people in a sense?
Different things. You'd rather be in that community and in that environment than around a group of white people. And why? All because of a narrative, not because of reality. Because if we look at the numbers, if we look at the crime stats, if we look at the impact on black people in the black community.
My Asians were at the bottom. And it's good to be at the bottom of this particular chart.
The white people are not your problem. Crips and Bloods most definitely are.
Yes,
and that's another angle on this. As much as some black people want to complain that it's the system keeping them down, it's the system making their communities look like this.
It is somewhat of the system. Yeah, your community is part of a system. That system sucks.
That's why things are locked up. That's why people are stealing. That's why people are fighting. That's why people are joining gangs. A lot of this is self-imprisonment due to mindset. And it is going to take a lot to make the black neighborhoods that the lady is talking about in the original video I showed you look different. It's going to...
And she's right about mindset. Trust me, growing up, I was very inclined to join. I had a lot of friends. A lot of friends that are in Asian Boys and all these other gangs and things like that. Like, I was really drawn. I was really pulled towards that direction. And I immersed myself in it. I admit it. Like, here and there. I try not to. I had good parents that really try to force me out of it. But I'm still a dumbass. Again, even with two good parents, dumbasses still make dumbass choices. Right over here. Dumbass, right? And fucked up my life a little bit. That dumbass. That's why I tell you guys, you gotta make smarter choices in life. Every choice that you make that seems to be a big choice, or even some minute choices, can grow to be huge consequences.
To take a lot of time, a lot of teaching, a lot of stepping out of self-imprisonment to make those communities reflect the same nature as the white community that she moved into. But it has nothing to do with skin color and everything to do with mindset.
Agreed.
There are white people with that mindset, Asians, Hispanics, you name it. Okay.
Yeah, Asian communities are a little bit different too. Like, I spoke with, I'm gonna bring up a lot of stuff on this particular video because, like, my best friend, he's Guatemalan and Mexican. His father always praises Asian. We just had a conversation about that. He's like, "Yeah, I wish we were like the Asians." This is just direct quotes from his dad. He's like, "Yeah, our family, Hispanics, I brought all of my brothers here and stuff, and what did we do? We just ended up doing things on our own. We started our own families and stuff like that. But the Asians, they help each other out. They pull each other." And he's not wrong, because at least in my family, in my Cambodian family, yeah, all of us started businesses, pooled money together so we can have everybody have a business, right? And we slowly became wealthy through helping each other out. Now all of my aunts are quite wealthy. They just bought a $1.2 million home for their kids because she didn't want her kids to move that far away. So the house is literally 2 houses down from them. And it's a 4-bedroom house and 2 of the kids live there. That's how wealthy they've gotten from working hard and through family means. Now when I got my donut shop, I was short $100K. I asked for a loan. They were like, "You sure about this? Is this what you want to do?" I'm like, "Yes." I showed them the plan. I showed them everything. They're like, "You got it, $100K. What's the payback?" I said, "I'll pay you guys back in a year." They're like, "Perfect. No interest." Bam. That's what family can do for you. Right? $100K no interest loan? Where the fuck can you get that? Nowhere. No fucking where. Only family. Only people that are close to you can do these things. And the reason they did it, because this is what we do. We do this for all of our family members. You need a business? That business costs $200K? I'll front you the $200K. Pay me back. Make sure you pay me back. Right? And we raise each other up. If Black people and Hispanic people and other cultures did very similar. I always have the biggest example is Indians. Indians, oh my God, they take this to the next level, right? A group of Indians, they come together, they build businesses, they literally build LLCs together so they can buy massive amounts of businesses and property together. That's what they do. Like, Asians are like this, and then Indians took it to the next level, and look how Indians operate. Look at Google itself. Who is the CEO of Google? An Indian guy. Look at how many Indians are in executive positions in Google. A lot. Why? Because the Indian community was like, "I need more Indian guys with me, like, let me help my Indian brothers out." I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing. It's actually a good thing in my opinion, but it's a bad thing for other cultures, right? Because now I'm a little bit more biased towards my own people, and I'm helping my own people come up. It's, again, a little bit just off topic, but it just brought up with me because, again, I had this conversation with my best friend just recently, how his father was just praising Asians and how Asians helped each other.
Can we also acknowledge the fact that it is a particular problem within the Black community? Can we say that out loud? And it's going to take much more than a conversation to fix it. Parenting has to change. Schooling has to change. People have to want better for themselves first. People have to start working within their own communities to
remember how Asians were raised. We were raised with very tiger parents. That was like the term that got coined for Asians, right? Like tiger parents. I don't think there's very many tiger Black parents. I'm just saying, right? Asians are so on it about their kids and about their kids' upbringing and their kids' future and trajectory. That's what my parents were super on about. Like, they didn't care much about what's going on. They cared about me and my future and trajectory.
Who demand better or leaving when they know they can't. You guys know that I'm friends with police officers that do a ton of work with at-risk kids who are in neighborhoods like these, and it is a multi-generational problem. As I said, it gets down to parenting and schooling and exposure to a world that could be different from the world that they're living in.
That exposure is so big. This is also, again, I always going to relate it back to us. Passports. You've never been exposed to another country. You've never been exposed to how women operate in other countries, how feminine other women are other than in America. There's a lot of things that you just don't understand until you've experienced it and seen it, because you're kind of trapped in this mindset because of what you see around you.
People don't even know they should want more. And when they do finally make the realization that they want more and they start to move in that direction, they're often held down by the members of their community who are telling them that they shouldn't have these desires, just like the lady in the video. But
Everybody wants better for them and theirs. Sometimes it's a different neighborhood. Sometimes it makes you look bad in your own group of people, but I just want the best.
she's not stepping off these people's necks. Okay, she had one more update video. I have to show it to you guys.
And another thing, you think I'm gonna let y'all broke down Tonka truck minded motherfuckers make me feel bad for wanting to live better?
My lady.
You think I'm gonna let you got foot draggers, got underbrain developed motherfuckers make me feel bad for wanting to have peace in my life? If you want to keep your saggy pant bunny wearing in the fucking hood, acting like a bunch of mindless buffoons, and keep your mother there, because the world that lives like this wants y'all to stay over there.
Damn. She's not wrong. Right? She's not wrong. That statement is a harsh statement, but it ain't wrong.
So don't with me because I want that little boy back there under the water having a good time, happy.
And shout outs to my boy having a good ass time in the pool. Kids love the pool.
Are you fucking nuts? And that's the problem, because a lot of black people think that living like that is normal. I'm here to tell you, the ghettos are not normal. Living like that is not fucking normal. That lets me know you got a mental arrested development and you need help and prayer. Message.
Did she stutter? I don't think so. Good on her for wanting more for herself. Good on her for going out and achieving that for not only her, but her son. And to the people online that are coming after her, I have to think they're members of like a few groups. One, black people that are stuck in their ways, stuck in the cycle, and want her to be stuck too. And shame on you for that. Although some do not know better, and what woke leftists who have been trained to think that black people can do no wrong because they've been held down for so long, and in their brains and in their minds, they think that this behavior is just the outcome of a system that has made people act in this way. Give me a break. It is one thing to not know better. That's one situation. It's another thing to know better and to make excuses for people and to shame those who do better. And until we say that, nothing's gonna get done. And it is gonna be a matter of just like moving to a better neighborhood and moving around rather than allowing.
Hey, changing your surroundings can change your circumstance greatly.
Your neighborhood and your community to evolve, which, as I said in this video, is going to take a lot of time and a lot of work, but we should start talking about that time and about that work, shouldn't we? With that being said, at the start.
Or everybody just leave those neighborhoods. Let them rot, right? The people that are stuck there, that have that mindset, you're gonna stay. The people that want to grow and want to do better for themselves, they should leave.
Of this video, I said it might be an uncomfortable conversation. It's a conversation that needs to be had. Nonetheless, I've given you my thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts in the comments down below.
Now, I wish we raised each other up more in our community. It's just harder because our community is just so mixed. We're not like other countries where my community would be all Cambodian people, right? It doesn't matter what community I go to, they're still all Cambodian people, right? Like here, this one community is black, that one community is Hispanic, the other community is half and half, the other community is Asian and Hispanic, you know, that community over there is white and Hispanic. You know, like it's just so many smorgasbords and, you know, mashups of communities. It's hard to kind of come together in the same mindset, and I see it, Please like, subscribe, comment down below. I really appreciate that, and catch you guys next time. Ciao.